One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Our future is our children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Obviously, you understand the content of this. Once the world sees this film, and once they see the ships that they transport the children in and all of this stuff, well, there's no other film like this. Our industry can't make this film right now because of a lot of people that are involved in it all over the world that are in this. And many of these people are very famous. I kind of started there with Tim, and when he started to show me all of the hell that they have to look at, you know, it's when I bring this up to people, I'm not for trafficking of children. I want to stop it. And Tim would always tell me, you know, when you're playing this, just remember that, because this hell that you have to look at, most of the guys I bring in, and they've seen the worst stuff that you've ever seen. It's just what they do to children. Children are nothing more than like a cow. It's already past the drug trade, okay? This is like, if you were to watch Schindler's List, you would say, boy, that was terrible. I wish I was around that. Maybe I could have done something. But you can do something now. And we can end this. When your child is taken, you're never going to see that kid again. And at that point, you probably wished you would have done something. We're at that point right now. And if we let our little ones continue to be slaughtered, boy, there's going to be a judgment on this world, and especially our country.
Thank you. Now, Jim, Tim, you're playing the role of Tim Ballard, and Tim is actually continuing to save kids. I mean, you're making a movie about it, but this is what he does, and he
here today. He was supposed to be in the room with me in right here or in Tulsa, but he's down there saving children as we speak, because they're pulling kids out of the darkest recesses of hell right now, in dumps and all kinds of places. The adrenochroming of children, I mean, look, where we're at right now, hopefully we need your prayers. This film is, when Tim Ballard came down to Bogota and we had about finished 2/3 of it, I said, why did you pick me? And he said, well, they didn't want you. They wanted someone else, but I said, well, I got to tell you, I did this movie, Monte Cristo and The Passion, and about 2/3 of the way through, I knew we were onto something that was phenomenal. And I said, I feel that with this film. And he goes, well, actually, it was those two films that I saw. This is why I had to have you in my film. So, sorry.
No, Jim, you said a word a minute ago, and I want to clarify what that word was, because you said a word, and I want to make sure that you said adrenochrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here, there's about 4,500 people here. There's about 500,000 people streaming online. We're having some cyber attacks. That feed's been going on and off. But you said that word, and by a show of hands, who's heard that word before in this building? Could you please explain, to the extent that you want to or not want to, what that is? Because some people have never heard that before, and we need to discuss that.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If you're an athlete, you get in the fourth quarter, you have adrenaline that comes out of you. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline, and they have a lot of terms that they use that he takes me through. But it's the worst horror I've ever seen, is screaming alone, even if I never, ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them. And when at that point where I have tears coming out of my eyes because my heart is so on fire. I'm fearless. You're fearless. You're the best that you will ever be when God is in your heart like that. And when it's burning, you're fearless, and you're not afraid of the devil. You actually hunt him. And any of them that hurt our little children. In the film, there's a line in there where he says, why are you doing this? And I say to him, as Tim said, because God's children are not for sale. They're not for sale. You can't do it anymore, Satan. And we're coming after you. And I'm not afraid, and I'd ask you all not to be afraid either, because they're worth saving.
They're giving you a standing ovation right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
How long you been doing this?
12 years.
How do you do it?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's gonna pass the drug trade.
Señor Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? Quizá puedas ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana.
Imagine walking into a room right now, seeing an empty bed. What would we do?
We're Homeland Security. You know we can't go off rescuing kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. This is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
We're talking about extracting an 11-year-old girl from an army of rebels.
Not just her. I'm talking about rescuing hundreds of kids.
She could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA.
Over 2 million children a year are being sucked into the deepest recesses of hell. If we do nothing, someday it's gonna reach the likes of you. What if this was your daughter?
Wherever I go, I find my